Today we will be showcasing Little Nightmares 2. But before we do that, make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe for more content. With that being said, let's begin. In Little Nightmares 2, Mono will be the protagonist, also referred to as the main character. Mono is a little boy that wears a paper bag over his head and a trench coat. Now that Mono has been introduced, let's wake him. Here we are, in a dark hallway, coming up closer and closer to what appears to be a door. Is that an eye? Yes. As we draw nearer, we see that it is certainly an eye. Everything begins to shake and rage as Mono drops in. Mono raises to his feet. As Mono awakens, he will begin to circle around the soggy wilderness, in order to decide which way to begin his journey. There are TVs all around the forest. That's strange. Seeing TVs in a forest is far from normal. What do all the TVs in the forest mean? Hopefully Mono will find out the meaning behind them as he gets further into the journey. Mono wanders off further into the picture, wondering which way to begin. Exploring every nook and cranny of the forest, Mono is sure not to miss anything. Is this true? We'll have to follow Mono along to find out and see. Mono continues up a small slope and arrives at a cliff. There's another cliff on the other side. He'll have to find a way to get across the valley to get there. A simple long jump across will suffice here. Oh my! A decaying carcass. The blown flesh flies have already gotten to the dead animal. Mono will quickly make the jump across the valley to put the image of the carcass in his distant memory. Great! As Mono moves on from the image, he sees a lone crate sitting in the forest and decides to investigate. Okay. Mono quickly finds out that there is nothing happening with the crate. He moves along with his journey. And what do we have here? It looks like a makeshift underground tunnel. Mono tugs on the door, flips it open, crouches and heads inside, not all too sure of what he will discover or where the tunnel will take him. Mono makes a few calls into the tunnel before going in. It's a pretty tight crawl space, but Mono is making his way through it, to see where the tunnel leads him. Whoa! Is that a bag of corpses suspended in the air? Mono stumbles into something, picks it up and discovers it's a boot. Maybe it belongs to one of the dead corpses in the body bag. Goodness! There's several bodies that have been trapped in the body bag. So far, the carcasses of the animals and the humans is a telling sign of what Mono may have to cope with on his journey. Seeing a few carcasses can't deter him. Mono will toss a boot, jump up, grabbing the ledge and pulling himself up a second time, tossing the boot again, just in case it is needed. The buzzing from the flies around the carcasses is very pronounced. Here's a tree protruding from the soggy ground that Mono will have to balance and walk across, in order for him to get to the other side over the valley. Careful not to stumble and fall, it's a long way down. This looks like a trap hidden here. Looking up, there's a box. Mono is becoming curious of it. Mono will trip the rope and see if his suspicion serves him correctly. And yes, it most certainly was a trap in place. Fortunately, Mono was able to avoid the trap. With that, Mono will keep in mind to watch for ropes that can be tripped and avoid being caged. There's a crate here, hanging over this ledge. Mono will push it down and pull it closer to the ledge that is out of his reach. The mighty Mono. Very impressive. Up and up he goes, taking notice of the hanging traps in his background. Creepy. Now, Mono will crouch under the rocks. Mono agitates a few branches, trying to exit the cave, and now he is being chased downhill by a large fallen tree. Run, Mono, run! Oof! That was unfortunate. Sprinting downhill will get Mono away from the large tree chasing him downhill. Is this another trap? Probably so. Luckily, as Mono is running away from the fallen tree downhill, a tree mightier than the one chasing him stops it in its track, sparing Mono and allowing him to escape. There's a rope hanging up here. What could this hanging rope be about? There's gotta be a way to get up to the rope and investigate. Soon enough, Mono spots a tree log that he is able to climb through, leading him to the cliff and to the rope he will be able to grab on and swing across to reach the other side. Almost there. Here we go. Mono makes it to the top of the log and to the cliff, grabs onto the rope, swinging back and forth, and finally across. Got it! Mono is set to move forward. What's this contraption Mono has stumbled upon? Let's see. It seems to be lowering a crate as Mono turns the gear handle. Mono will have to lower it to the proper position, a position that will allow him to cleanly jump across to the other side and over the valley. Mono makes it across the valley to delve deeper into the forest. He comes up on part of a bridge. Mono will assess the situation and figure out what he must do to get across another valley. Ensuring to not make any mistakes will save Mono a lot of time. Mono will hop down and go to the part of the bridge that resembles a ladder. He will climb it. Easy enough. Up and up the ladder Mono goes to see what awaits him at the top. But before Mono gets there, if you are enjoying this video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content. Mono has reached the top of the ladder and is ready to take on the next obstacle. Look at the vulture feeding on the carcass. Mono will make a huge leap to frighten it away. Cool. Oh my! A hanging log. What should Mono be looking out for? Let's watch and see. Mono's interest has been piqued, so he will not stop looking until he finds out the reasoning for the suspended log. Mono searches and searches for anything that will give him a clue on what to do with the log. Whoa! It was a trap. Mono has been trapped. Trapped in a net. Back to the vulture and the pile of boots. Mono now knows what to do with the boots. Mono must trick the trap by tossing a boot on the net. That way Mono will be able to use the fallen log as leverage and reach the cliff. Awesome! That worked out perfectly. Mono hurries to the log to use it to reach the small cliff. Before he hops up the cliff, Mono takes a look around to make sure he has not missed anything. Mono prepares for the next obstacle. If it's anything like the last one, the suspended log, it will be in his best interest to over-prepare. Mono will hop down off the cliff with a little bit of uncertainty, but not enough to stop him from continuing his journey through the dark wilderness of the forest. Wait. There's something laying on the ground, but it's so dark that Mono can't tell what they are. Mono circles around the mysterious objects, investigating in search of finding what they are. My goodness! It's a bear trap. Mono has been trapped once again. Mono awakens. Now that he knows what's lurking for him on the ground, which are bear traps, he will take extreme caution to avoid them. Hopefully it works. Mono cautiously navigates around the bear traps, being careful not to trigger them. That fast, Mono is learning how to navigate dangers that lurk on the ground by keeping his eyes peeled. More traps are laid out on the other side of this log. Over the log, Mono sees a bear trap with a stick between its teeth. Mono will grab it and pull it from the jaws of the bear trap and will take it with him to find a use for it. Knowing well, Mono will rear back and strike the ground to certify that there are no traps laying in front of the log that he must make his way through. And of course, there's a bear trap. Lucky for Mono, he was well prepared for any ploy that he was being set up for. After foiling the not-so-clever setup, Mono slides and takes a ride down the large log. Equipped with his stick, Mono is ready to foil any more plans that have been made in order to trap him. Shoot! Mono wasn't ready for that. Mono awakens with his stick nearby, ready to give the dangers up ahead on the ground another try. He grabs his stick and charges. With each strike at the ground, Mono reveals more of the terrain, casting the leaves away hoping to trip a bear trap and set off a chain reaction to clear his path. And it worked! Nice! There's a pile of pine cones here. With no stick, Mono already knows what to do with the pine cones in order to ensure that his path is clear. He must pick up a pine cone, toss it, and hopefully set off a chain reaction tripping the bear traps. That's it. Keep going. Noticing how the leaves are placed, it's easy to tell that there are plenty bear traps here. So Mono will toss just about all of the pine cones in order to be certain that his path is free from bear traps lying in wait to trap him. Mono picks up a tossed pine cone and tosses it again. My goodness! It's a whole host of bear traps lurking around. I'm sure that there's more bear traps to trip, but Mono will waste no more time when he has a safe path to take by walking across the log and forging ahead with his journey. Mono jumps and climbs the ladder. Part of the ladder falling was a close call. There was a bear trap right under it. Climbing up the hill and suddenly, light appears. Where is it coming from? Mono proceeds to find out. Mono is unsure about proceeding forward, but he must. It's a shack. The shack has traps all around it. Either no one wants the shack disturbed, which is why the house has traps all around the outside, or whoever lives here built traps for some reason and placed them all over the forest and the shack. The outside of the shack doesn't look well kept, but Mono will decide to go up to the shack anyway. Up the stairs and across the porch he'll go. Mono sees light shining from an open window. He wonders what awaits inside this peculiar shack. That will end this part of the Little Nightmares 2 video. If you would like to see what happens next with Mono, make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe for more content.